Hi, I'm Toby Hodges, and this is the brand new ClubSwan 43. Literally its first sea trials, and we are in Jakobstad, Finland, just coming out of the channel from Nautor Swan. And as excited as I am to get aboard this new cruiser racer, one design, ORC, Juan K design. There's a couple of buts, unfortunately it's not fully finished and the racing sails are in customs. So we've got Dacron delivery sails, including a pinhead mainsail. So it's not ideal. It's also quite light wind, but it's a wicked shape. So let's have a first look aboard, and yeah, there's not bits that aren't quite finished and that sort of thing, so you'll have to bear with us. Maybe we'll be able to show it in finished condition later in the year, but yeah, first sail aboard. As you can see, not quite the right jib that Juan K would have designed for the boat, but let's see what we can get out of it. So what's immediately obvious as I thought it would be, well, disappointing obviously not to have the proper sail wardrobe, but you get on the wheel and straight away you can tell this is a beast. It's super light, but very direct steering and really good fun as well. Very enjoyable, and it's like one of those boats you know is just gonna go as soon as you crack off the wind as well, but is also fun to sail upwind. And yeah, single rudder boat from Juan K with a big deep high aspect rudder acting really as a foil, and same with the keel as well. Yeah, very deep L shape with a high aspect fin on it, so they're really going to be helping you going upwind like this. And we're going all over the place here. So we've started out with an offshore breeze, now we've got a sea breeze filling in from here. We're going round and round in circles, but every little puff the boat reacts to, it's good fun. So there wasn't too much point in going into the finer figures when sailing the boat, because yeah, Dacron sails, quite a few of us on board, and the boat, as I said, has not quite been finished. But so this I'm going to keep to a first look, and there's a good reason for that, as I've just explained, and also because we want to sail it in proper conditions in race mode and that sort of thing before giving you know, more judgment on it and that sort of thing. But I know a lot of people be wanting to know the layout of the boat, how it works, the concept of it. So a quick walk around deck in the interior, which I said isn't finished yet, to explain a bit of that. First thoughts are though, it's super cool. Very cool project, and really good fun, active helming boat. So quick to accelerate, super light, well balanced, direct. Really fun to have a single rudder boat like this, and a quick upwind boat. So that's easy to tell. My other first impressions really are how well the deck has been set up for easily trimming and cruiser racing. So both, yeah, the racing side for a full crew boat, and getting around the boat. It's, you know, it's safe and stable. This, you know, it's obviously a beamy design, but you're not falling around the boat. And you'll probably notice here all of these nice chamfered edges everywhere. That's not just styling. It's not just an aggressive looking boat with its reverse shear running through there. But that's practical as well. So what I mean by that is if you're hiking out here on a tow rail, it's chamfered on the edge. Same if you're walking forward at heel off that off the coach reef itself, or sitting against it. It's just been really well thought out by both Juan K design team, and by Federico, who's in charge of the ClubSwan racing program. Very experienced, and that experience shows. Obviously that box is not meant to be in the cockpit itself, but starting from aft here, you have these nice overhangs on the side decks here, just weight taken right out in those quarters, nearly beam wide traveller, and the markings on the sea deck here. The sea deck's just in the cockpit, but really nice underfoot. And then this is it's good non-slip built into the boat as well. So from here you have the running backstays leading from here onto these dedicated aft winches. And I don't know if I mentioned before, but Swan had developed a clever system for adapting the mast for those going cruising to put a pinhead mainsail on here. So it's a fitting which goes on the top of the masthead. You stand someone up in a bosun's chair, a couple of pins on the top of that. You remove the current fitting, put a masthead crane on there essentially, so that you can fit a single backstay rather than these twin runners. So that then comes down to a normal split fitting onto where these running backstay blocks are on the aft deck itself. And that means, yeah, you don't have to have someone always manning a running backstay every time you do a tack. Moving forward, you got underfoot here 2 deep aft quarter lockers with access to the steering gear, and that steering gear is chain Steffer system. Down here straight to wire. The wire goes around a turning block and to the quadrant there. The quadrant sits on a carbon fibre stock, and then the rudder itself, the blade, very deep high aspect rudder, and that's in vacuum infused vinyl ester. The Traveller runs forward to the main sheet trimmer's position here, just forward of the main of the helms. Again, chamfered coamings here, which work really well. Very nice to put your feet against, and that's your controls each side. On the cam cleats, cam cleats mounted on that central tow rail, gives good bracing there, so if you are sat inboard on these benches for the tactician or whatever, you've got good grip, you're not falling across that cockpit. There is, in cruising guides, there is a table that will go on here, a carbon fibre table, and there's a bench box which fills in this gap each side. There is a lot of removable equipment, particularly on the inside of this. On the interior, a lot of the interior is removable. We'll go into that in a minute. Kite sheet blocks right on the aft quarters. Those run through those jammers there, or the turning blocks up onto coach roof winches. Nice deck gear in general, the Harkin blocks and Performer winches. So you've got 46s back here, 50s as the primaries. These are German main sheet winches leading forward up onto the boom, and the primaries are 50s. I did question why you haven't got the cross sheeting bottoms on these, so that the trimmers can be sat up to windward, but they're trying to keep it simple. They've got the cross sheeting bases on these coach roof winches, but I think crew weight will be quite interesting how that works, moving it fore and aft on the rail, because it does look like a very effective upwind boat. Reason I say that is you've got that deep high aspect rudder and very high aspect fin to the keel on an L-shaped keel as well, so it promises to be pretty lethal upwind. Really nice deck design, as I said, chamfer on there. You've got the jib sheets running outboard and then right inboard onto these transverse jib tracks with a 3D system there, and that's controlled on the inboard end. Hit winches each side. Then obviously you've got your running rigging, tack line each side, and good van control as well, just on the spring lock blocks and clutches. And this is a really nice feature as well, that's sort of the styling of this. So you've got a slight overhang on the coach roof windows. It's going to take a bit of tint out of a bit of glare out of the interior as well, but it looks pretty aggressive and cool. And also these wells, which run not just for this running rigging, but they run, as you can see, through that, for the tack line itself. The hatches built into those wells as well, so you don't have any, so the water can run off those grooves, not going into the interior. The mast is deck stepped as well, so yeah, shouldn't get too wet inside, although they have developed a string drop system for the spinnaker to go through that forward hatch. The mast is an Axon carbon mast and boom as part of the one design, with rod standing rigging and a twin spreader carbon mast. As I mentioned, it's really good non-slip on deck. It's built vacuum fused Vinylester. Weight is approximately 7 tons, 7,050 kilos, I believe, light displacement. Again, that reverse shear and then forward, how the deck runs down into the foredeck well here, where you've got the forestay attachment. This has got like the racing bowsprit on the moment, but those 2 points here, those 2 bolts remove the bowsprit fitting, and so in cruising mode you would have about a 50 centimetre shorter bowsprit. This panel here is where the windlass would go. You can see through the forward part of there, underneath the forestay fitting, where the chain will run, and the chain will go down into a big foredeck area below this, which I'll show you from inside. Yeah, annoyingly, no bobstay fitting on this, no race sails, no tack lines run through, no ability to run with a kite today. But hopefully that'll happen one day, because this does look like a real weapon downwind. So as I've mentioned, this is not finished. You can tell it's not finished. It's a Swan. They won't want it to be shown in this unfinished condition, but they've put a lot of effort in to get it this far, and so I'm going to give you a quick tour of what it's like, and I think you'll get an impression. I don't know whether I'll be showing this as you see this, with some additional footage in there from the photo shoot I'm sure they'll do when they do finish it. Anyhow, this is what it is. So it's obviously missing, well, it's missing the whole heads area at the moment. It's missing doors for the aft cabins, but quite a lot of the furniture and the trim is in there. It's also missing the sole boards, which are pretty cool. So it's a Lucio Micheletti design interior, and it is a proper cruising interior for a race boat, if that makes any sense at all. As in, it is a 3 cabin, albeit one of them open and single heads with a galley. You could easily weekend or cruise on this boat. And as I mentioned, a lot of it is removable. And the point of that is this boat is designed as a cruising boat or a racing boat for one design, Swan Racing, of which, you know, they obviously have many competitions and a big circuit, and there's a lot of attraction there for owners. But also it's an ORC boat, so it's designed to be very competitive in ORC Class A. And with that, Swan know that the winning boats of that strip their boats out. So all of this furniture you can see essentially is removable. These panels here are cork, which is pretty cool. That's sound deadening panels. They obviously remove. These remove. The white panels remove. That removes forward, and then you've got I'll take it off in a second, you've got the hatch through to and it's a watertight hatch through to the chain locker and forepeak. This table removes. Quite a lot of the galley removes. It will be a fabric wardrobe in here. That obviously removes. There'll be panels on here to give you storage in there. Even the bed fitting, so that's split in two, so that bed panel there, the base of it, can remove out of this doorway and out through the companionway. So you can save around 200, somewhere between 200 and 300 kilos on interior fittings. As say, this doesn't have the sole panels in. It's a sort of whitish, very light sole with blue stripes on it. It looks quite cool, actually, quite modern. Under here you have bladders for the water tank, so it's around 100 litres each side. Again, removable, but even though it's super lightweight, you could take those out if you wanted to. Nice big saloon table. All of the timber part there removes, and then below that you can see just those two massive keel bolts, and obviously the lamination
around that is very, very heavy duty. So that gives you an idea of how high aspect and narrow that keel fin is below there. Yeah, deck step mast, so there's your support for it leading straight onto the top of the keel. And then moving forward, yeah, you can have, other than what you can see, you can have a sort of enclosure here. So not quite a bulkhead, but it's I haven't seen it. It's a door which sort of closes off, a double door which closes off that to seal that cabin if you want it. It's a little bit darker than it was earlier because we've got the jib on that forward hatch, but they've developed a system, I think they've got it on the 50, but it's a string drop system for the spinnaker, so that can come through that hatch. There'll be a block by the companionway and another block right aft here on the headlining of that aft cabin, and that will suck the spinnaker through this interior super fast. Otherwise, you've got a couple of lockers under here, and I'll pull up this cushioning and that panel forward to show you that now. So these panels just velcroed on, same with the cork, and then that's your watertight Lumar hatch through to your big four-peak there for a chain locker. All this interior is all foam cord, lightweight, bit of storage under that forward berth, big forward berth, and obviously the mattress is removed as well. And as I say, it's only the ORC racers that will probably be interested in all this removable stuff, because for Swan 1 design, you need to have a fully fitted interior. And knowing this Finnish yard, they'll do a good job when they do finish it. Yeah, even this panel here removes, leaving just your switchboard touchscreen mounted there. Nice long saloon sofa berths. And yeah, good size heads really as well. Hard to tell without the finished article in there, but that'll be a wet heads with a shower compartment screen around it as well. And then compact galley here and large double aft cabins. Now the thing they're still figuring out is whether to put headlining in on this or not, how to finish it exactly. But you see, these are proper double aft cabins. And they'll have a fabric wardrobe in there as well. 8 years, probably almost to today, I was here for the ClubSwan 50 launch, the first Juan K Swan, and it was very, very exciting, but it was quite similar, as in it wasn't quite finished. It was a pretty long day. We went right in through quite a lot of the night to finish the boat, to finish the trial and the tour. And yeah, it's a real shame we didn't get to sail this to its full potential, or the boat isn't quite finished, but that just means hopefully we'll get another chance to do it. Very, very promising boat, as the 50 was. They built 28 of those. I think this will probably be a bigger success, more appeal, because it's that much cheaper to buy and to run. So it starts at 820,000 euros, which is a lot, but yeah, with the one design promise of it, with the handicap racing and the cruising potential of it, really promising design, and yeah, a fair bit cheaper than the 50, which I think is more like 1.4 at the moment, 2024 prices. Sorry it's not the full-on sail trial we really wanted, but that hopefully means we'll get that chance again soon. Hope you enjoyed the quick tour. See you next time.